Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Kryptocraft on the Monster server. I'm Nighthawk, and we've been doing a huge amount of work. Last weekend, I got on here with Hannibal, and we had him move over to check out the base, and decided he's going to join us. We've got clones going, we got pigs, got all sorts of crazy things. This episode, we're going to do a bit of a tour and take a look at what we've got going and see where we're going to go from here. First off, we've got a little bit of a farm area going here. Just some basic stuff, a lot of canola for the rotary craft stuff. I have been spending, ridiculous amounts of time working on that. Replant the glowstone, grab some reeds there. We've got some ender lilies growing over here. I had to move them off on their own because they hurt when you run into them, but they also, if you throw them, if they have items land on them, then just like the cactus, they destroy those items. And I lost the first batch of glowstone seeds that we had, and that was unfortunate. Now, what you'll see here currently is we've got a bit of a storage problem. And I'm trying to stay a little ways away from the steam engine because it's rather noisy. But, actually, let's see. Why do I have a fire there? That's not burnable. Maybe it's catching the chest on fire here. So, underneath the block, underneath this blast furnace here, in order to get its temperature up to where it works, there's lava directly underneath, so wood things in the area will occasionally burn. But like I was saying, we have a bit of a storage problem. We got chests all over here. There's actually chests all over this base, from top to bottom. And that's a bit of a problem. So I'm working on getting a storage system online. And I was watching Generic B earlier, and he is just setting up his base on the Attack of the B-Team server with these Project Red transportation pipes, and it looked like such a cool system, and it's reasonably priced, that I decided that we're going to use that for the, at least for the sorting end of our storage system. So there's, just like the way he has it set up on that system, I also have a lever to turn it off, but there is a hopper underneath the chest that will let items return. You stand on here, you can dump items into the system, you can request things, and if you get off the pressure plate, then they just drop right back into the hopper and get sent off into the storage system. So that's how we're going to sort things out. I've also got this interface pipe over here that has an extractor chip in it, and this is going to be so I can stick a chest here and it will just unload. Basically, the way this works, not that block, that would be bad. So there's a hopper here under the chest. The pressure plate or the lever turns off the hopper so that it will not take items out. There's a interface pipe that has an extractor chip. The important thing here is if you right click it with it in your hand on anything, it has this filter, and you got to make sure that it's in blacklist mode with nothing in there. Otherwise it will only take the things that are in the filter, and that's not so desirable for this particular usage. Here you'll see I have another junction pipe. This helps it to not have things bounce around. It helps direct things better. And then on the top we have a request pipe that lets us have access to all the things that are stored in the system so far. Let's go ahead and put that back for the block there. I have this left open still because I want to do some upgrades on these extractor chips and make them a bit faster. I could also put the extractor chip directly against this chest, but then I can't just have items sit there for some period of time. Now, one of the big things I've been working on is rotary craft. That's why we have this blast furnace here to make steel. That's the work table here's for rotary craft, and the steam engine that you've been hearing is also from rotary craft. This is kind of the primer system that I've built just to get started. And you can see we got a steam engine here. These cooling fins keep the steam engines from overheating in the kind of regular biome that we're in. Let's see, what kind of biome is this? The desert biome that we're in. So it will overheat and they explode very violently if you allow that to happen. Generally, it's about 130 degrees that I've seen that they tend to explode rather violently. I've got a gearbox here so that we can increase the torque going into this grinder. And I've just been using this particular grinder to make some additional sand, because running a little bit low and I have an excess of cobblestone right now. Over here is the B-team lair that we found last episode. Awesome stuff. Have our portal here. Nether is not exactly a safe place to be. There's pigmen that are just angry. The pigmen will get angry super easily. So kind of a nuisance. Coming over this direction, we've got our smeltery. Gonna put those in because I need more of the good type of glass. Got some Tinker's Construct things here. I did make a alumite pick that I put the auto repair on, and have some other things planned for it. Let's actually look at this pick real quick. Yeah, just have the moss. I do want to put, I do want to get a pick that has silk touch, because that will help us in our endeavors a lot. We put our ore berries here, and this is, of course, is the way out. And is it this way that Hannibal was mining, or was it on the top level? Hannibal did a huge amount of mining on one of these levels. It might have been further down, too. Anyway, let's go further down, though, because that's where the cool things are at this point. So, this is a shell constructor, and it's pig-powered. And it lets us create clones, and is generally just amazing. So yeah, we're going to be doing some stuff here. Oh, and this storage system, the person that designed it is a guy named, YouTube channel is JSIT, and I'll link his channel in the description so you can get more information and see how it's built. But really cool system. Now, let's go on down. I have this kind of blocked off. We've been having some spawn issues here and there. I cleared this out. This is going to end up being a production room, probably starting with the logistics pipes, I think is what I'm going to do in here to start. And you can see this is the pipe that goes down to the storage area, which if we just drop down here, we'll see that area. And this is still early phase. It's not anything special yet. But this pipe goes up, and we'll get to that part in a second. Pipe just comes around, and this chest is a just sort things out chest. So if you get a bunch of things you want to just get rid of, you just toss them here, and it will get sorted out into the rest of the room. And each of these has some random stuff. This one is kind of a random things chest that's the default path. And each of these, the interface pipe has a responder chip and a broadcaster chip. The broadcast chip is what tells the rest of the system what is in this chest and lets it be retrieved. And these responder chips, again, you have to make sure that you have the filter set to blacklist with nothing in it. And I also set the priority on this one low so that it becomes kind of a default path. And these ones have a dynamic responder chip, and that lets them say for anything in the that particular chest, they'll accept those items, and it will. If you put items that they have in the chest, then they will just get routed directly to it. So really cool way of basically same type of thing as the logistics pipes auto sort. So really cool way of doing it. Now, this is kind of getting on the lower levels. That's the only thing that's really of interest here. There is, if we go around this way, I think is where it's at. Right here, we do have a creeper spawner. And under the floor here, there was TNT. These are trap chests that would have set off the TNT and caused all sorts of mayhem. But I noticed them on that floor. Didn't notice it earlier, but oh well. I was working on a tunnel that way. I'm actually going to change how that's working, which we'll go down this way. So this is the bottom level of this Rogue Dungeons mod dungeon, and there's all sorts of cool things in here. Tons of quartz, tons of redstone. This tunnel is a dead end, but we won't go that way. This level was incredibly frustrating to clear. I was recording at the time, but it didn't make any kind of good video at all. I was far too frustrated. You can see all my tunnels that I was using to try and really to get this room. This room was the trouble spot, because there were several blaze spawners in here, and this room was basically so full of blaze that the sound was glitching out, and I couldn't really get very much into it. I died so many times, it's not even funny. But did finally get through. The rest of it wasn't too bad. If we go this way, I think is one of the rooms. And there's several rooms that have these gold and redstone blocks in the floor. So all kinds of good stuff that way. Some of them have diamonds even. And I kind of want to keep as much of this the same as possible, but I am having to harvest some of it. Now you might be able to start hearing some of the next machine area. So yeah, this is kind of leading down into the next machine area. And there are other ways down here as well. But this is what I've been working on currently. Is this done? Oh, I'm out of power. Let's turn that off. Let it recharge. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. And we have... I've been doing a lot of stuff with Kryptocraft. And we have a hydrokinetic engine here. The waterfall that it's getting power from comes from the surface. I found a little bit of a lake and opened it up so the water would fall all the way down to the bedrock level. That ensures that we get the maximum power that we can out of these engines. And the plan is to basically just line them up so that we get as much power as we need. And the output from it is just being pushed into this rotational dynamo. I don't have the tool that lets me see the values here, but currently this single hydrokinetic engine puts out about 93 RF per tick, and unfortunately these only support 80 RF per tick, so I'm losing a little bit of that power, but that's okay for now. And this goes into these conduits that go under the ground, and I've just finished prettying this up a bit. So these go over, this comes over here and powers this magnetostatic engine and this alloy smelter. Might not use this a whole lot, but I wanted to test something out and decided I didn't like the... oh, where did I put them? Oh, there they are. These Ender IO energy conduits seem to be a little weird. I'm probably doing something wrong with them, but they didn't seem to work quite right for me, so I probably won't end up using them. But I've got this extractor set up here, and let's see, how much power do we got? We got enough to spin this thing up. And I've got an amazing way of smelting items here. Whoops, that's the wrong. Gotta change this over to orange. And this bevel gears is needed because the extractor powers from underneath. But I also set up this furnace with a friction heater here. And these friction heaters are amazing. If I set this at 8K, this thing will heat up, and it's going to use the power quite quickly, but you can see it heating up quite fast. And look at how fast this thing smelts. It is ridiculous. It will go through material like crazy. Now, of course, I don't have enough power going into the system to support this for very long, but even at a more supportable pace, I have up to 500k kW, but the redstone conduit won't transmit enough right now. So even with it turned down a little bit, it's still very, very fast. And combined with the extractor, what you're seeing here in my inventory and in the furnace came from, I believe, 11 iron ore, if I remember right. Oh, I might have brought some, never mind, I brought some additional stuff down, but I think it was like 22. So 11 iron ore made this minus 22. So still a huge amount. Now the one drawback is you can't leave this running for very long without things in the furnace, because it can cause the furnace to just melt away, which would be kind of bad. I don't have this chest set up to return items yet. I might do that in the future. I haven't decided, and I've left some stuff here that I want to get a silk touch pick to pick up, because if we put it through the extractor, then we can get a lot more resources out of it. Now, so this is kind of my temporary ore processing area. I do plan on moving this up into one of the areas further up in the easier access in this area, but I don't have enough conduit yet, and it's probably going to take a little while for me to get enough conduit. So for now, it's set up here, and we'll get it moved soon enough, I think. Now, this side... Now, one thing these hydrokinetic engines require is they take lubricant. So we got a tank of lubricant here, and we have a grinder set up to grind canola seeds, which is what makes the lubricant. So you just grind up these canola seeds, and you get some lubricant. It's not a whole lot per seed, but if you get a good buffer, it makes it really easy, and these engines don't take a lot. And what happens here is power goes under the floor, powers this magnetostatic engine, which then powers the grinder, and I've got this stock keeper module here, and that makes sure that it stays full of canola seeds. And then underneath of the grinder is a fluid duct, and that fluid duct just kind of comes over here, goes into this portable tank, and then from the bottom of the portable tank there's another one, another liquid duct that comes over here to fill up the hydrokinetic engine. And just to keep this grinder from running all the time, because it's not necessary, I've got the engine set up so that it accepts redstone. And then back here we've got a comparator that's picking up the tank volume, and I've got a lever so that it requires a full redstone signal from the tank through the comparator in order to power it. And then we've got this wire that runs along and turns the engine off. So really cool, really simple way of making sure that this stays, that it only runs when it's needed. And then I've also got this, I can't actually see it. That's a shame. There's this shale gas here that I think I will eventually do something with. Yeah, I don't know how to do anything with it yet. Now, from there, this conduit line continues on, and it's going to go up this way, and eventually come out and run along. Actually, it's going to run through that area there, come out, and run down this hallway, back up to the rest of the world, and that's how we are going to power pretty much everything in the future. Now, right now, I don't have anything else that uses RF that's getting power elsewhere, but that power line will come all the way up. It probably needs to be done with ultimately with the better conduits, but I'm going to get it run as quickly as I can so that we can have a good power source going. And let's look at here. We are ultimately going to want this redstone energy conduit because that will transfer 10,000 RF per tick. And it will probably start with the hardened energy conduit, which just takes adding some Invar and redstone. That's pretty resource intensive though, so I don't know how soon that's going to happen. The other option for getting power around might be to make some tesseracts, but those are very enderite heavy, or ender pearl heavy, and I don't have ender pearls yet, besides the 2 that are sitting here. So I don't know how soon that's going to happen at this point. Anyway, that's kind of where we are right now, and I know I've done so much off camera, but I've just been quite busy playing and haven't had any. A lot of it's just been experimentation, so I haven't really had anything specific to record. But yeah, that's where we're at now. I think that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to go back upstairs here. You can hear the engine running upstairs. It's actually right directly above us. And next I'm going to be working on getting the some logistics pipe systems going, because while these Project Red transport systems are amazing for a lot of things, I haven't figured out any good way to use them for regular crafting, and I want to be able to just click on a box and say, make me this, and have it pop out into a chest. And despite there being a crafting pipe included, this routed crafting pipe, I can't figure out how to actually make it work properly. I did a bunch of testing on a creative world, and I couldn't get it to actually do anything. So yeah, I might be able to pop onto the IRC and see if I can figure out how to work with those guys and figure out how to make it work. But I think for now, I'll just use the logistics crafting tables, make a bunch of these, and use logistics pipes with these crafting logistics pipes. These aren't too bad to make once you get the diamond count going. Might have to make something that can get us loads of diamond. I'm not sure there how much diamond, or if we have any good diamond to source at this point. But yeah, that's where we're at. Making good progress in the base. We got a lot of redecorating to do. I believe Whip will be joining us over here as soon as he gets time to play. And he might be doing more of the building stuff to make this look even more amazing than it already is. But for now, we're going to stand back here away from that steam engine and say, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great night. Bye.